So, we only got one hidden character to unlock. As I said the last time, I read online somewhere that supposedly in order to unlock the last character, you have to play on hard mode and only have one stock, which is ridiculous. And you also can't have any continues, which is kind of redundant, because if you have, or rather, you can't lose any of your lives. If you only have one stock, I mean, you're not going to be able to lose any of your lives anyways. But we'll try and do all that and have no continues. So far, I've used Mario. I've gone with Mario and gotten Jigglypuff. I've gone through everyone's Break the Targets and gotten Luigi. And then I went ahead with Kirby and I got Ness. Wanted sort of to save Kirby for this. But instead, we're just gonna go ahead and pick Pikachu over here. Pikachu is, for the most part, probably the most... I think he is, like, one of the best characters in this game. Just, given tournament stats and how he does, and, all that mumbo-jumbo. He seems to be the one that just performs the best. Just because he's so fast and he just has so many combos. I personally never really gave a shit about Pikachu, both in this game, in real life, in the past, etc. Just because I don't know. I've already talked about how I was pretty, I don't know if it's rebellious, but I was just a hipster. I just didn't like things that were mainstream, things that everyone liked, or things that I'm supposed to like. Like Pikachu, just because I like Pokemon, I just gotta. Oh fuck! I think I just edge guarded him. That one out really. Things I'm supposed to like, I'm just supposed to like Pikachu just because I happen to like playing Pokemon. It's just like, oh yeah, this Pikachu character, you gotta love him. This dumb yellow rodent. And I was like, no man. I think Ash is dumb. I don't think any of this is cool. Leave me alone. So whenever I saw Pikachu in this game, I just didn't really care too much for him. Similarly in Brawl, I thought Pichu was kind of cool just because he had goggles in one of his costumes, I guess, or color variations, I should say, I guess is the more appropriate term. But he's pretty garbage, which I learned pretty quickly, so I didn't really spend too much time with him, but I thought it was kind of cool at the time that he was in the game. Now in hindsight, it's kind of like, not really. I could really care less for that. But in any case, I did try to learn him a little bit in Brawl and Melee. Brawl and Smash 4. In Brawl, I kind of gave up on him pretty quickly, just because I'm very bad at doing the quick attack. Because I know you're supposed to be able to do that in this game, at least. One of the main things is to use that to trip up your opponents, either by zooming out of the way, using it as an escape, or using it as sort of a way to how do I describe it? Just confusing your opponent, because you'll just go up to them and they'll do one of these, like, whoops, one of those, and juke them up like that, or get into better position like that, stuff like that, from what I've seen at least from matches. But for the most part, I was just not good at that, and I just gave up on him. And I know, like, in Smash 4, he had this real interesting combo, or I don't know if it's a combo, but you can, whenever you throw people off the stage, you would do one of his aerials. I forgot which one it was, but it was just really good at knocking people into the stage and getting a stage spike. I could never for the life of me pull that off. So there was just a lot of things that I couldn't pull off, because Pikachu is a very technical, very tech-heavy character. I don't know if tech-heavy is the right word. I should say technique-heavy? I don't know. But he's not a character that I'm very good at. His style of character is not something that I'm very good at using whatsoever. But we'll see. I am somewhat interested in seeing now if I can learn him. Because, like, shit, I gotta start all over again now. Pretty sure I've talked about it before, how, like, Fox is probably the hardest character for me to piss off in this game. Even though he's only the third opponent you come up against, it just feels like he's actually, worth a damn in the story mode. Because, Link is kind of trash. Pretty much in this game in general, but also as the first opponent. He doesn't really do much, obviously, because he's the first guy you face off against, and his stage really isn't that difficult. But here, things are kind of different, just because, we got very different terrain. Fox actually has a pretty decent recovery compared to, Link's pretty abysmal recovery. And then on top of that, the stage also can hurt you a lot more than the, or rather, it does a lot more damage than I believe what I'm trying to say, I believe the R-Wing, I guess it's called, is a lot more dangerous than the, what is it called? The Twister that comes out? Nice. The Twister that comes out on Link's map. But in any case, as I was saying, I really want to try and see if I can actually get to use Pikachu this time around, especially now because I'm actually using a controller. When I first played this game, or most of the times when I played this game, because after I lost the game, the only way I had to play it was with emulation. So the thing with that is, it's kind of hard to play this game on a keyboard, because that's mainly how I played it. I didn't have, this was before, USB controllers, or, consoles had wireless controllers so that you can easily hook those up to your computer and use them as a USB gamepad. This is before all of that, really. So it was pretty hard to come along, anything like that. So for the most part, I had to just use a keyboard, which is, obviously not easy for this kind of game. But now that I actually have a controller, I'm hoping to maybe be able to actually do something. And also, I feel like that'll actually let me develop some actual skill. Some actual technical skill. I'm actually using a controller for this game. So it's finally time to actually start going on this Smash Odyssey of mine. This journey of mine to become a better Smash player. So far, we've learned my history with the Smash series, how I used to have a copy of the game when it just came out and ended up losing it because I unfortunately lent it out to some douchebag. And pretty much from there on out, just getting defeated constantly in Smash, to the point where I've decided that I'm going to become a very good Smash player. But before I did that, I had to go ahead and take a step back and analyze myself and find out what my weaknesses were. Primarily it mainly comes down to mental strength, because I'm not very good when it comes to, getting angry or focusing, or I'm also not very good when it comes to knowing the game well. I don't have as much experience as maybe everyone else does, regretfully. It also comes down to a lot of other things, a lot of techniques, and a lot of physical skills that I need to go over. So much so that I went ahead and I detailed what it is that I believe a good Smash player has. My 3 pillars of a good Smash player. That was the physical pillar, the technical pillar, and the mental strength pillar. I don't know if those are the same names I used in that video, but that's pretty much what it is. And then I've sort of summed that up as, the pillar of power, pillar of wisdom, and pillar of courage. Because the physical pillar is basically just the ability to be able to perform, just be able to do things physically, being able to physically press buttons well with little to no mistakes, just being able to press buttons. The technical pillar, or the wisdom pillar, that's the ability of knowing a lot about the game, so you know more or less when it is that you should do this. Like, you just have a very good understanding about the game. It's difficult for me to say when, because that ties in a little bit to the mental strength one. But in general, yeah, it's knowing what to do when, what's good here, etc., etc. Just having advanced knowledge about the game. And finally, there's the mental strength pillar, or the courage pillar. That one comes down to just, mental fortitude, focus, and also just general experience. The kind of things that I wouldn't actually be able to acquire very easily. It's the kind of things that I'm going to end up having to gain over time. Granted, all of these are, but I feel like for that one, it's on a special case of its own. So with that being said, what's more important is, how am I going to get there? I've outlined what it is that makes me bad, and I've outlined what it is, if I had these characteristics, would make me good. Now we just gotta go through the journey and bridge the gap in between. So the first things first, I've decided I'm gonna focus on the physical pillar. I figured that with a lot of these pillars, I'm probably gonna be able to make most use of the physical pillar outside of Smash. Cause you know, the technical pillar, that'll only really help me in Smash. Maybe in some other fighting games, but mainly only there. And then the mental strength pillar is the same thing. It'll help me mainly in Smash, maybe in some other fighting games, but mainly just in Smash. Whereas the physical pillar, I can actually use that in like real world stuff, or at least the way that I'm going about it. And it's also the one that I can start building constantly over time, like actively doing so. Whereas the other, like the technical pillar, I just kind of gotta just do a lot of studying to basically learn a lot about the game. Obviously, I will have to play a lot, but that'll just have to come with time. And then for the mental strength pillar, that's literally just me playing a bunch of matches against people. That's the only real way to develop that one, and maybe meditation or something like that. So the physical pillar, I think, is the best starting point. So yeah, I've defined the physical pillar as just the ability to be able to press buttons good. I had to give it a one-sentence summary, because I figure good Smash players need to be able to actually press buttons good when they need to. So when they need to press the A button, they'll press the A button. So in order to do that, I have to get really good fingers and nerves and whatnot. So I've broken this down to 3 things. We've got motor skills, which for me is just going to end up being the actual ability to press things, like the actual like stuff, like actually getting my fingers to do what I need them to do. So that's the first part. There's hand-eye coordination, so communicating what I see with my hands also. So not only can I control what I do with my fingers well, but I also can get it so that it communicates with my eyes. So as soon as I see something, I can make something happen with my hands. So that's gonna be the hand-eye coordination. And also there's also like fine motor skills. So this is what's gonna help me to make sure that when I'm pressing the A button, I don't accidentally press the B button. Or when I want to press the A button, I don't accidentally press the B button. You know, that kind of stuff, where I don't have any miss inputs. So those are the 3 sort of, I don't know if you want to call them pillars within pillars. But those are the 3 sort of focal points of the physical pillar. And basically what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to develop these motor skills. I just grouped them together to call them motor skills. I don't know what really else to call them. So I just call them motor skills, even though the first category was motor skills. But in any case. So that's what I'm just going to end up doing. I'm just going to end up practicing these things, doing a lot of these exercises to increase my motor skills. Because the other thing that I could do in order to increase my motor skills is to just constantly play Smash. So I could just sit around and devote 4 hours, 2 hours of my day just to straight smashing. Just straight fucking pushing buttons constantly. I could do that, sure, but I don't feel like that's a real effective or efficient use of my time. So I figured I can probably get away with doing both. So if I, for example, every day play an hour of Smash, and then spend another hour, maybe not consecutively, definitely not consecutively, but broken up throughout the day, working on my motor skills, I can probably get a lot more done with my life. And also develop these skills, but also I feel like I'll develop these skills a lot better. Because not only would it be more engaging for me to do these kinds of exercises than just sitting around pressing buttons for a very long time again, a long amount of time, I feel like it would also be a lot more effective. I feel like I'll develop a lot better if I do these exercises. So I've done some research. I looked up ways that I can increase these skills. So for motor skills, for example, we have some pretty simple things. There's this thing where I'm just gonna call it the tennis ball squeeze. Just get a tennis ball and just squeeze it constantly. Originally what I was going to do, I was going to get one of those grip things where you squeeze to develop, that a lot of bodybuilders use it to develop stronger grip strength. I thought that was going to be the same thing, But actually, if you do it yourself, if you do this, you close all your fingers together and you just press together. Whereas if you open your fingers and you squeeze, you'll feel that a lot differently. If you do it with all your fingers together, I feel like that maybe focuses more on your forearm strength. Whereas like if it's all three, it's more maybe scattered about. I don't know. There's probably no real logic to that, but that's probably going to be a lot closer because, you know, pressing separately with fingers is going to be a lot more accurate to pressing buttons than all the fingers at the same time. So that's my other logic behind that. But there's other things. For example, I can do origami. I have here written down just basically just folding paper, but I can probably do it a lot more complicated in that. Maybe figuring some origami so that'll work on some fine motor skills at the same time. But just the action of just folding paper, just getting my fingers to do all of that work, will increase my motor skills. There's also playing around with rubber bands. That one I'm not going to do too much because I don't really know how to do that well. But basically just sort of just putting them between your hands and fingers and just stretching them out. I can just make a fist. But I mean, that's just the tennis ball squeeze at that point. I can play with Play-Doh. But honestly, I don't like Play-Doh. So that's not really going to be happening. I can stack coins on top of just, you know, the action of grabbing coin, stacking coin. That'll help my skills a little bit. I can uncrumple paper, and I can punch holes in paper. All these things are really simple. I don't know which ones of them I'll actually end up doing for the most part. I'll probably definitely be doing the tennis ball squeeze stuff. But next episode, we'll go over what it is that I've actually done. I'll have like an actual schedule written up of what I've done so far and what's been working, and you know, we'll talk about that. But right now, I'm just gonna throw that out there, and we'll see afterwards what sticks. So that does it for motor skills. For hand-eye coordination, there's this one that's really fun. It also involves a tennis ball. It's called letter ball. So basically, I'll take a tennis ball and I'll draw a bunch of different letters on them, and I'll have to play with a partner. I can maybe do it against a wall, but it's probably not gonna be as effective. But I'll play with a partner. There'll be a lot of letters on the ball, and with my partner, I'll have to play catch. The only thing is that as soon as I throw the ball, the person receiving the ball, the person that's catching it, they have to, as the ball is coming to them, they have to call out whatever letter they see before they catch the ball. So, you know, you throw the ball, you're about to catch, you gotta focus on that letter, call it out, and catch the ball, and throw it. So that'll work on my hand-eye coordination. I want to really do that one. The only problem with that one is that I need someone else to do it, which for a lot of these things, I'm gonna have to do them alone. So this one is gonna be a little bit difficult to have to do. Like, for example, if I wanted to do this every day, we'll see about that. There's a couple of other little things. So there's, I can draw air shapes. You know, I can draw circles, squares, more complicated shapes. Just follow those with my fingers. Rather do that with my fingers. Follow it with my hands. Wow, that didn't make any sense. Follow with my eyes. I can also trace on paper or anything else. Just trace fingers on that. It's basically getting my eyes to focus on what my fingers are doing, what they're seeing, but also focusing on what I'm seeing in my fingers to focus on that as well. So this is the main idea about that. I can do tennis keep-ups. So that's basically you take a tennis racket, you take a ball, you just have to bounce the ball up, just tapping it up. You want to mostly do it without moving around a lot, but the main focus is to not drop the ball, but ideally you want to do it so that you're not really moving. You notice I'm bringing up tennis a lot in all of this, and that's because, like I said before, the physical pillar is the only thing that I feel like I'll actually be able to use outside of Smash, which is great. For example, developing all these skills will help me a lot in tennis, especially, for example, developing hand-eye coordination, so that'd be great. But in any case, I can also get a dartboard, figure that out. You know, obviously that helps out with that. That'll be a lot of fun to actually get into. And another thing I'll be doing is I'll probably be playing some Rock Band, because you know, the whole hitting a note at the right time, that works on your hand-eye coordination. I could inversely possibly start learning maybe an actual instrument, and that'll also tie into fine motor skills, which I'll get into in a minute. But I feel like Rock Band will probably be more effective for what I'm trying to get out of it. I'm not trying to make music, I'm just trying to develop the physical skill. That's basically how I'll be developing hand-eye coordination. For fine motor skills, these are, the ability to like, be able to do things good, fine-tuning them, I guess. So I'll be learning how to type better. That's an easy one. I don't really do this. I do sort of like a 3-finger combination of that. So I'll be working on some of that. I can learn how to play piano, but again, I'm not really gonna be learning how to play an instrument. I can also learn how to play guitar, for example. But I mean, there's no point in me going out of my way learning how to play an instrument just to use that skill in Smash. That's a bit much. But I'll try and see if I can make my way somewhere in between that. There's sewing. I already know how to sew, so that one's really pretty easy. But I'll try and see if I can get some of that in, so I can get some of that fine motor skill in. And there's finally this thing called like the coin walk. I used to do this a lot when I was younger. Basically what I'll be doing is I'll be placing like a coin somewhere, like, I don't know, my pointer finger, and then I'll just have to, I guess that's my index finger, and then I'll have to sort of, people say knuckle, but this is the knuckle, so it's not really the knuckle, it's between the knuckle and your joint. That's there, so you put the coin there, and you gotta basically just lift up your fingers and make the coin literally walk over. It'll flip over on your other, I guess, knuckles until you make it to the other side, and then reverse. You just gotta keep doing that back and forth. It'll be fun to get back into doing that. But that's basically a laundry list of just things that I've found that would be effective for increasing motor skills, hand-eye coordination, and fine motor skills. Once again, I don't know really what it is that I'm going to be doing per se, or rather how exactly I'm going to be doing this just yet. Right now, I've just kind of laid that out there. So far, I've got my boat. I have my history. Got my boat stacked up. I know what it is I need to work on. Those are my weaknesses. Got those stacked into my boat. And then I know my goal. Those are the pillars. And now I'm on my journey. I'm just kind of mapping out the route a little bit right now. But basically what's going to end up happening is I'm going to end up making some sort of schedule where I can do this stuff throughout the day. And I'll develop my motor skills. I want to do an episode later on where I kind of, more importantly, test my motor skills. So make it so that I can have some sort of metric of knowing if I'm improving, where I'm at, how much I'm improving, and how much, for example, a good Smash player has of these metrics. So I'll try and see if I can get that in to happen. I don't know if I'll actually be able to get that to work. I don't know how accurate these things are going to be either, but it'll give me some sort of ballpark image, basically. And then finally, as I mentioned before, none of this is really going to be too worthwhile if I'm not playing Smash. So I'm going to be, unfortunately, as soon as this episode goes up, I will be streaming Smash more or less. I want to say every night. I obviously don't think I'll be able to hold that standard, but I'll be streaming Smash every night. It won't be like a good stream. It'll be mainly me just sitting there, because we're still on Smash 64. So it'll be mainly me just sitting there playing Smash. So it'll be a very boring hour of Smash. But I'll stream it just so I have the backlog if I need some footage or anything like that. If anyone wants to stop by and call me shit, that's fine. It'll be there. I'll probably be doing that late at night. You can go to, twitch.tv /CurlyHairedHero for that. But I will eventually also, since I was forced to play the emulated version of Smash 64, there is a way to play that online. Or so I've heard, if I remember that correctly. So I'm going to try and see if I can get that to work online. So I'll probably incorporate that into my online... Sorry, not my online. Incorporate that into my training while playing Smash. So I actually play against some people, which will be far more effective, I think, than just playing against the computer 100 times, just go into training mode. But that's basically the game plan for now. I'm going to, as the day goes on, I'm going to start working on my motor skills to develop those a lot better. And then I'll also be playing a bunch of Smash, so that in conjunction, those things can improve my motor skills. And then we'll just be that much closer to the physical pillar. So I'm pretty excited for the next phase of this, I guess is what you want to call it. So once I'm done unlocking all of these characters, I should have already talked about it in the second part of this video, but I'm gonna start actually learning how to become good in Smash. But the other thing that I'm gonna start doing, I don't know if I mentioned it in that, is that I'm also gonna try and see if I can get myself an N64, a working N64, a copy of Super Smash Brothers, and at least one controller. But I'm trying to see if I can get myself, 4 controllers. Just to have them. You might as well have the max number of controllers you can have. Because I mean, I've grown up with a 64. Obviously, I've talked about it several times. My girlfriend has it as well, and she's always wanted to own one again. Her brother apparently sold theirs a while back, unfortunately. She doesn't have her copy anymore. My N64, I don't remember actually what happened to it. I think it actually just got left in either got left in the Dominican Republic when I moved back over in 8th grade, or it is somewhere. No, I'm pretty sure I don't have it anymore. So either that, or I might have been stupid and thrown it out accidentally, or something dumb like that. But aside from that, yeah, I'm gonna try and see if I can get a copy of that, and I'm gonna see if I can hopefully not have to do too many, leaps and bounds. Shit. That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, so oh, come on, I just came back! Oh, fuck. But yeah, like I've been trying to say, I'm gonna try and see if I can get a copy of both the game and the console, and controllers. See if I can, continue Smash Odyssey somewhat on that. I'm probably gonna end up doing it on 3 different copies of the game, because as you know right now, I'm doing this on an emulated version using some HD textures just to make it look a little nicer. However, I've more or less figured out the issues with my capture card, so I will probably, thank God that guy got bombed for me, I will probably end up, well not probably, I will be going back to it for the next parts of this, so any footage from here on out is going to be, someone else hit the bat? Okay, I thought I had it in my little Pika mouth, but I guess I don't. It'll probably be from the Wii copy of the game, the Virtual Console copy of the game. Oh god, but yeah, I'm gonna end up having to basically, I'm gonna probably end up playing this on all 3 different copies. Oh boy. Because you best believe, oh no, what? Yes, please star me, help me out here. As soon as I open my big ass dumb mouth, I immediately die of some nonsense. So yes, I'm gonna probably end up playing all 3 versions, because I'll be playing this copy whenever it is that I figure out how to get online working. No, 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 no! No, don't you dare. Please. Yes, Blastoise. Oh, God. I don't know what it is about these guys. It just makes them so difficult for me. Whenever it is that they actually show me fighting on team. But whatever. As I've been trying to say, gonna have to play this on 2 different versions. The emulated version to play it online. I'm gonna play over on the Wii version just to unlock all the characters there, and I'll be using that in the meanwhile until I get a 64, which I'm hoping I'll be able to get eventually. Then I'll probably start playing on that copy. So we'll probably end up playing Smash on every possible, Smash 64 at the very least, on every possible copy of the game that I can actually get. Unless they release it on like Switch or something like that, then I'll have to switch that up, but we'll worry about that then. In any case, this is also going to be the last time that I'll ever go through the adventure mode, the story mode, whatever you want to call it, for Smash 64, at least for Smash Odyssey. I will probably, I'm considering, so what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to start streaming this a lot, as I mentioned in the second part of this video. I'm going to start streaming this a lot. I'm considering starting that off by playing the Wii copy of the game. I'll probably stream that copy just because that's probably, unless I'm trying to get some online matches, I'll probably stream that copy of the game just because that's probably the most legitimate copy. So if I go up there with an emulator, I don't need anyone bitching at me like, oh come on! Gotta say, I'm really liking this side aerial so far. It's doing a hell of a lot of damage, at least I think so, to Master Hand here. And it, oh fuck, man. I almost did this without having any damage, but of course, as soon as I open my big old dumb old mouth, I get hit. Next thing I know, he's gonna come in and he's just gonna squish me like a little bug that I am, and I'm just gonna die. Pikachu is obviously made out of paper, so you can just go right through me. No! Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus, that was difficult, but that's over with. I'm gonna have to go through over this again. What I was trying to say is that I'm probably gonna start streaming this. I'll probably start streaming on the Wii version, and I will probably go ahead and start by unlocking all those characters again. Because I believe, yeah, I only managed to get Jigglypuff, so I'm gonna have to do break the targets and then 2 clears again. So I'll probably start off with that just because the juice is flowing, and then I'll try and see if I can regularly sort of stream myself just pushing buttons a bunch of times. I keep saying that because that's the only way that I can think of describing, because that's basically what's gonna happen. It's just me, you know, doing things, but I can't really think of the exact way to describe it. I'm just gonna be on there in like training mode and stuff. So in any case, we've got here Captain Falcon, who's for whatever reason here on Samus's stage. I understand not everyone can get a stage, but I mean, I guess he is kind of not so much a Samus clone, but he is close to Samus in terms of his model, just because of the fact that they're both so tall and they have such long legs. They have such different moves completely. Samus is, you know, a lot bulkier. She relies on her bust. I swear to God, if I die and I have to do that shit all over again, I will probably never play this game ever again. Thank you. Oh God, I want to cry. Oh, I was just saying, Samus relies more on her bulk and her buster and her missiles and shit. Falcon is more up close and personal and relies on his speed. In any case, you can now use Captain Falcon, collector of speed race trophies. Stay fresh.